Hi, welcome to Springer's Adventures. Frank here. So, back on the Shovelhead. You know, our goal when we got this bike last year was to see if we can't have it up and running by Bike Week 2023 down here in Daytona. So, we're getting close to that. Today, I'm going to bring you through, we're going to clean out the tanks on there. I know people get them boiled out, people bring them to shops. I'm going to show you how I do them. Seems to work. I haven't had any problems or anything like that, so come follow along, see how I clean these tanks out. I hope it helps somebody. If you have any questions, leave them below. I'll cover some comments. Before I forget, don't forget to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know how you like this. So come along and let's see how we clean the tanks out on this Shovelhead. Well, I guess the first thing we ought to probably do is drain the gas out of this thing. Been sitting in there and no use getting any more trash down into the carburetor, so just gonna come off, pull off this line off there. I'm gonna put another little hose up here and drain it down to the bucket. Let's check it out. Well, it's coming through, so that's a good thing. At least we know it ain't there. Don't look too bad, but definitely smells like old gas. So let's let this thing drain out. So it's draining out there, but as you can tell, it's not looking too good. So I let the tanks go ahead and all day long kind of drain out there, and by the time it started to turn to nightfall, you could see by looking down in the tank, most of the gas was out. There was still some down in there. You could tell by that ugly brown color, that was the gas. I can't really see too much in there, but it was what was left in there was very dark. And we were going to call it quits for tonight and check it out tomorrow. As you can tell, the screen coming out of this tank is being a little bit fussy. Does not want to pull out. Let's keep working on it. So nothing else wanted to drain out. We couldn't get the screen out, and it was definitely clogged. So at this point, let's pull the tanks off and before we cause any more crud going through the lines. All right, so here's the moment of the truth. We couldn't get any more of this stuff to come out, so. Oh yeah. That's some nasty stuff. So as you can tell, we were trying to pull the filter sock out of there and it just disintegrated. So now I got to try to get this out of here somehow. Let's see. Take a look down in there. Ew. I don't know if you people can see that, but it's completely. Yeah, this is what we're dealing with. All right, this is what happens when that stuff sits in there. That's rust, calcium, gasoline, I guess a little bit of everything. Got to get that stuff out. This is the original petcock of the Shovelhead. And it's in pretty rough shape. So now comes the time of really cleaning these tanks out. Here's what I like to use, the white vinegar. I get a couple gallons of this white vinegar. It's very cheap. You can get it at Walmart and any local store. Pour it down in there, fill it all the way up to the top. Throw in there a chunk of chain, some old nuts and bolts you got laying around. Rattle it around, let it sit for a couple days. Let the acid from that white vinegar do its magic, and watch how it cleans. So here's after we let it sit and did it a couple times. See what it looks like. You got it on? Mm-hmm. All right, so this is like the third rinse out on this thing. Let's see how this googly stuff comes out. Alright, let's rinse it out with some water. As you can tell, this is some of the stuff that I was trying to get out of there. Let's go inside, put some light on this thing, we'll check it out. Alright, so after you're done rinsing it out with the vinegar and the water, now it's time to neutralize that vinegar acid. So I'm going to put some baking soda mixed with water and fill up the tank. That's baking soda and distilled water. That's what I'm putting in there. And then we're going to top it off with distilled water and shake it around, let it set for a while. Give it a good shaking around. So just keep giving it a good shake. You want that baking soda and distilled water just to neutralize everything in there. So I'll just keep shaking it around. Make sure it gets into all the crevices and cracks underneath there. And just like I said, just basically you want to get rid of that vinegar coating that was inside there doing its magic, eating the stuff. So you want to neutralize it. I actually end up just putting it down, let it set for about 30-40 minutes or so before I picked it up and go continue and dump it out of there. And more stuff, as you can see, still continue to come out. Just bigger chunks and everything like that of some stuff that was still loosened in there, but not too bad. I think somebody previously, years ago, did some kind of coating in the tank, because this gray stuff that was coming out in big chunks, I think somebody poured some kind of sealer down in there. Obviously it did not adhere very good, and it just came out in some big chunks. There wasn't a lot of it in there, but there was a doable amount. Surely wouldn't want that breaking loose with the gasoline once you get the bike back together. Looks pretty good down in there, as you can see. I'll try rinsing it out with a little bit more distilled water. Then we'll dry it out and coat it with some oil. Well, looks like it's pretty spotless. So at this point, it's time to dry it out now. I took my heat gun, stuck it down in there, and just dried it out real good. So this is the concoction I make up to coat the inside of the tank after it's all been cleaned to keep it from flash rusting. It's diesel fuel and two-stroke premix. I mixed the two together, mixed up a couple of gallons of it, and I completely filled up the tanks. Let them set overnight, came out the next morning, dumped it all out, and there it is. And I rinsed out a little bit of that with the gasoline to, totally clean it out. At that point, they're usually good to go, and that's exactly what I did. So that's what my thing is. So here's the total of everything that came out of these tanks. It's pretty remarkable. Look at that, and that was it. So it was a little over a cup of junk that came out of there. So that's just crazy. So anyways, tanks are back on the bike. It's about ready to fire up. We'll do that on the next section. I hope this helped anybody. Again, don't forget to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Any questions or comments on what I did there, please leave them below, and I'll get back to you just as soon as possible. Thanks so much, and we'll catch you later. See ya.